Which type of substrate poses a choking hazard to bearded dragons, especially if ingested in large quantities? If you're a proud owner of a bearded dragon, then you know that creating the perfect home for your scaly friend is crucial. One of the most important decisions you'll make when setting up your dragon's enclosure is choosing the right substrate. But what is substrate and why does it matter? Well, that's what we're diving into today. Choosing the right substrate for your bearded dragon's tank can have a big impact on their health, comfort, and happiness. The right substrate can help your dragon feel more at home, while the wrong one could lead to some serious health issues. Stick around as we talk about the best types of substrates for your bearded dragon, what to look out for, and which one could pose a serious choking hazard. Let's get started. What is substrate? Now let's get the basics out of the way. So what exactly is substrate? In the simplest terms, substrate is the material that lines the bottom of your bearded dragon's tank. It's what your dragon will walk on, dig into, and sometimes even eat. Yeah, I know it sounds a bit strange, but bearded dragons can actually nibble on their substrate if they're hunting for food or just being their curious selves. But why is it important? Well, substrate plays several roles in your dragon's environment. First, it helps maintain proper humidity inside the tank. Humidity is crucial for your dragon's health, especially when they're shedding or if you live in a very dry area. Second, the substrate helps provide a comfortable surface for your bearded dragon to move around on. Some substrates mimic natural desert environments, so your dragon can even dig and burrow like they would in the wild. And third, it can help keep the tank clean by absorbing waste, moisture, and odors, but not all substrates are created equal. Some are better at these things than others, and the wrong choice could lead to problems like impaction, we'll talk about that in a bit, or even injury. Now that we know what substrate is, let's talk about some of the most popular options and what makes them work or not work for your bearded dragon. One of the most popular and safe choices is Reptile carpet. This is a fabric that lines the bottom of the tank and is designed to be easy to clean and reusable. It's safe for your dragon because there's no risk of ingestion, and it's washable so you can just throw it in the laundry whenever it gets dirty. It's also eco-friendly since you can use it again and again. However, the downside is that it can get dirty quickly. If you don't clean it regularly, it can start to smell and bacteria could build up, especially if there's food or waste on it. If you're looking for something that's easy to maintain, Reptile carpet is a good choice, but you'll need to keep on top of the cleaning. Next up, ceramic tiles are another excellent option. They're non-toxic, super easy to clean, and durable. They provide a nice flat surface for your dragon to move around on, and they help maintain the temperature and humidity of the tank. The only downside is that they can be a little slippery, especially for younger dragons, so they might struggle with traction. And some bearded dragons might find them too hard when they want to burrow or dig. But if you don't mind a modern, sleek look, ceramic tiles are great for a long-term setup. Let's talk about sand now, which has that natural desert look. Bearded dragons love to dig in the sand, and it mimics their natural habitat, but it does come with some huge risks. If your dragon eats too much sand, it can cause a dangerous blockage in their digestive system, which we call impaction. This is particularly risky for young dragons who are still learning how to hunt and explore. Sand can also affect humidity and dry out quickly, so you have to be careful with how much you use and ensure your dragon isn't ingesting it. If you decide to use sand, make sure you're an experienced owner who knows how to manage feeding habits properly. It is really not recommended. Lastly, paper towels are a cheap and easy option, especially for temporary setups or for young hatchlings. They're very easy to clean, and you can just toss them out and replace them when they get dirty. But the downside is that they don't look natural and they don't help with humidity at all. They're not the most aesthetically pleasing option if you want to create a more desert-like environment for your dragon, but they work well in a pinch or if you need something quick and simple. Choosing the right substrate is more than just picking what looks nice. You need to think about a few factors that could affect your dragon's health. The age of your bearded dragon is one of the most important things to consider. Young dragons are more likely to eat their substrate, so it's best to avoid sand or loose materials for them. Reptile carpet or paper towels are safer choices for hatchlings or younger dragons. Another thing to think about is how often you're willing to clean the substrate. Some types like ceramic tiles and reptile carpet are low maintenance and easy to clean. However, substrates like sand and coconut husk require more effort to maintain because they need regular cleaning to avoid bacteria buildup. If you're the type of person person who doesn't mind a little extra work, sand can be manageable, but if you want something easy, go for Reptile carpet. Humidity control is also a big factor in choosing the right substrate. If you live in a dry area, you'll need to be more careful about keeping humidity levels up. Some substrates like coconut husk or sphagnum moss help retain moisture, which is good for your bearded dragon if the air is dry. If you want to avoid a moisture problem, ceramic tiles and Reptile carpet are better for dry environments. Lastly, the risk of impaction is a major factor when choosing sand. If your bearded dragon eats sand, it can lead to a blockage in their digestive system, which could require a vet visit. Make sure you're prepared to manage this risk if you decide to use sand. Again, I would stay away from sand. When choosing the substrate, there are some potential risks you need to be aware of. Impaction is one of the biggest concerns, especially with substrates like sand or loose bedding. If your dragon eats too much of it, it can cause a blockage in their digestive system, and that could be dangerous. To avoid this, never let your dragon eat their substrate while hunting for food. You can also feed them in a separate dish to reduce the risk. Maintaining proper hygiene is just as important as choosing the right substrate. If you don't clean the substrate regularly, it can lead to bacteria, mold, or parasites, which can make your bearded dragon sick. Always clean the tank and change the substrate as needed. Heating lamps also need to be considered when using certain substrates. Some, like sand, can dry out too much under the heat, and in extreme cases, they can release harmful fumes. Make sure that your substrate is heat-friendly and safe under the basking lights. Now, if you didn't catch it earlier, here's the answer to the trivia question I asked earlier. Sand can pose a choking hazard to bearded dragons, especially if ingested in large quantities. Ingesting too much sand can cause impaction, which can lead to a serious blockage in the digestive system. In conclusion, choosing the right substrate for your bearded dragon's enclosure is super important for their health, comfort, and happiness. It's not just about looks, it's about creating an environment that supports their natural behaviors, maintains proper humidity, and keeps them safe. So which substrate works best for your bearded dragon? Do you have a favorite? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. If this video helped you make a decision, don't forget to subscribe for more bearded dragon care tips and other awesome reptile content. And remember, your bearded dragon's happiness starts with their environment. So take your time, pick wisely, and enjoy watching your little buddy thrive. Up next, did you know there's one animal so laid back that it can make friends with almost any creature, even predators? The capybara, known as the chillest animal on the planet, has a unique ability to form bonds with everything from birds and monkeys to cats, dogs, and even crocodiles. But what's their secret? Is it their relaxed demeanor, their social instincts, or something hidden in their behavior that makes them so approachable? Stick around, because we're uncovering the fascinating trait that crowns the capybara as the ultimate friend of the animal kingdom.